Hi, I'm Joe with Apocalypse Manufacturing, and today we're going to compare 6x6s, what Apocalypse Manufacturing produces and what the competition puts out there.
All right, so I'm Jerry with Apocalypse Manufacturing, and we're here with Joe, and he's going to show us some of the great exterior features that separate Apocalypse Manufacturing from our competition. Joe, what do you got for us?
Well, you can notice right off the bat, we're using the same wheels, right? But we're using a deeper version of the wheel. Ours is completely coated in Kevlar, which is a special coating that we came up with, and it's a very hard, rugged texture that doesn't require any maintenance. Doesn't scratch, doesn't need to be buffed or waxed or any of that. So if you are off-road and you're running through the bushes and whatnot, no damage happens to the vehicle. Our fenders, these are handmade custom fenders that we built in-house. The reason we use these fenders, we don't have to lift the truck up so high, and we can clear a 38-inch tire and have all the travel and distance you need. The higher you lift the truck, the poorer it drives. We want to be able to do both. We want to do 100 miles an hour on the highway, and we want to go do some hardcore off-roading. On the inside here, steel fender liners instead of a plastic fender liner, so that any debris and whatnot doesn't make its way into the motor, and it looks cleaner. So in here you see the difference in the fender liner. This is just a plastic fender liner. And actually while we're here, take a look at the shock. This is a Rough Country lift kit. Rough Country, you know, it's like a hobbyist lift kit. It's a real bottom grade. It's not something you want to put on a $100,000 vehicle by any stretch. On ours, we're actually running a Falcon dual stage 2.0 nitro charged shocks. Our hood, this is our own custom handmade heat reduction hood, and it's actually open to the motor, which we'll go to the motor in a minute. This is our steel front end grumper. This grumper, by the way, keeps the winch inside of it, which it's protected. It doesn't get damaged when you're running through the woods or going off-road. Our headlights, we have high output LED halo headlights with color changing halo rings. We've got built-in LED fog lights on both of them. We've got a big light across the top. We have the Vical around the windshield. You asked me what that is. The Vical protects the windshield if you're, again, off-roading. No branch not going to come across and break the windshield and protect it from that. These aren't LED headlights. These are just incandescent bulbs that come factory with it. It's got the regular plastic Jeep grille on there. It's got a regular Jeep hood on there with no opening, no ventilation on there. It's got plastic Jeep fenders that they will come off if you hit something. You don't have power running boards. You just have the metal steps. They went with a metal step on there versus ours. When you open the door, it comes down. And it's totally waterproof. So if you submerge this truck, these power steps still work. You've got dual full pipe exhaust running right back to the headers.
Where's this exhaust, Joe? Oh, it's a one little one off to the side there.
A little baby factory exhaust in there. You've got a steel reinforced rear bumper. This truck will tow 12,000 pounds comfortably.
This is, plastic, and it's obviously in line with something good, Joe.
Custom made fenders, again with a rise in them so we can clear 38s and not have to lift the truck up too high, with enough clearance for full travel of the wheel at max articulation.
Plastic fender here that's obviously been sort of cut in half and piecemealed together, almost like a wannabe limo.
All right, now let's take a look at what we have under the hood. This is a 500 horsepower LS3 motor you find in a Corvette. This thing puts out 490 foot-pounds of torque and 500 horsepower with a cold air intake, direct drive into our 8-speed transmission. Well, let's hear what they sound like. All right, let's take a look under the hood of this one and see what we've got. This has got the standard 3.6 liter V6 that comes from Jeep. It puts out 290 horsepower. Most people that drive a Jeep say that it's a little slow in the Jeep alone. Well, you know what else has this engine? My mom's minivan.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's a driver, man.
Go Voyager.
Let's start it up and see what it sounds like.
That baby purr.
So the difference between the interior, let's take a look inside. First thing you notice, hand crank windows. I can't remember the last time I bought a car that has hand crank windows, but I certainly wouldn't spend $100,000 to have it. The head unit, we've got a 3-inch screen inside there, and just none of the features. You don't have a backup camera, you don't have Bluetooth, you don't have navigation, none of the stuff you'd expect in a $100,000 vehicle. Obviously power windows, power door locks. We upholster the entire thing. We actually upholster the ceiling, and we upholster the dash as well. And it's all marine grade leather, so it's all waterproof. If you have the top off and it rains, no troubles at all. 8.5-inch screen head unit with navigation, Bluetooth, backup camera, fully loaded with all the features you'd expect. Heated seats in both.
Custom colors, get whatever you want.
Yeah, the color's your pick. So we've covered the differences between the two trucks as far as the aesthetics go, the power plant, the interior, the features. Now let's get to the main difference. What makes this a functional 6x6 versus just a toy? And that's right underneath his back two axles here. Of course, the most important thing is that all of these tires are powered. You've got a full-time drive system there with a pass-through axle and a drive shaft connecting all 6 wheels and tires.
No pass-through axle, no drive shaft connecting, making for very bumpy turns and getting stuck a lot for a 6x6, which would be a little bit embarrassing.
So we talked about a lot of the differences between these two 6-wheelers. Now let's take them on the road.
That makes a lot of sense. Let's see what those axles can really do, or you said, Joe, lack
Or
thereof.
not do.
Yeah.